Alright, just getting the sharing out on Facebook. Give me a moment here. Oh, where did that get typed at? Is this up? Okay, OpenHours for a short time. This is the continuation of the Fix Me Up. I was waiting on a text message from a customer or a phone call back to say that text message was coming. That didn't happen. So we're going to go ahead and continue with, we've got this LAN here. The hard drive is installed back in it. Yesterday we had it pulled. We did a Malwarebytes scan. It came up with 5 things to remove. Went ahead and removed those. And then a Defender scan came up clean as an external. Now, as a final step, we're going to try. Okay, so the repair is there. Let's go ahead. We're going to go. Wow, I wonder why that's a goofy resolution. We'll just leave it, not worry about it. We're going to go ahead for a moment here. This is a tool you may have seen from time to time. Hopefully, does that USB port not work? Let's go for a different one. If you're familiar with it, ADW Cleaner, a good tool for starting the process of doing a cleanup. We're going to go ahead and run that through and do the backup of the data, and after that, we're going to power down and hopefully rip this down and get it cleaned up quickly. If this thing reads, okay, so it's not even reading my flash drive. There it goes. Got it. Oh wait, it is the new version. Did it cycle to the top? And it did. Let's right click. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Right click and wait for the computer to do its thing. It is running pretty hot. We got to keep in mind, if you can even see this, it is an AMD, so these do run a little hotter. Slightly hotter than Intel's. At least that series. The A8s and the A10s were not as bad. Here we're starting up ADW Cleaner as admin. While we wait on that, we'll pull this up. It is always fun waiting on these things. Uh-oh. Oh, we got incoming. So you get to hear about something that I want to do. Maybe we'll mute it down. I'm going to mute it though, just for sake of, I don't know if this guy wants to be broadcast on the internet. So we're going to go ahead and leave it on the repair and muting. Basically, what that piece is going to do is, you see this camera here, the one that we have it pointing down?
Yeah, I see that.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have this camera, which a couple of my lenses have zoom on them, and if I have that mounted, I could swing this out and actually zoom in, because the zoom on these, it's all, it's done in software, and it just pixelates everything. So I want to keep clarity and be able to zoom in and have it still look good, and have the camera repositionable, like at an angle, up and down, side, whatever I need. And then on that arm, it'll do it. But so yeah, man, that's the explanation on that. I can buy one of these for like $39 and repurpose it to work with the camera. I can pay like, I think 200 and some was a higher end one. I think it was 178 for the cheapest one I could find. For the same setup. Their setup had one additional, it was a 3-piece arm, and the bottom one was adjustable, the middle one was solid like this is, and then the third portion was adjustable up and down. Crazy. I'll buy something cheaper and see if I can't do it, if somebody can't do it, I was literally going to take and get a chunk of steel, file it to the shape I needed, drill holes and file them all out, which is like a, 2-3 day long project.
You know, with the threaded hole there?
Yeah.
I don't even have like thread and a half.
Yeah, well, here, I'll show you real quick what it is. Let me find the piece. I know I left it here, I just don't know where I left it here.
No, I'm just saying, I don't know if I got any material this thin.
Well, I'll show you well, you can go a little thicker if you want, as long as that spread is the same.
Well, it don't matter if you these a little bigger out here.
Yeah, they can be fatter, whatever. Oh man, there. I'm literally losing my, oh, here it is, it's right here. Here is, because this is ultimately going to get mounted on it. This is a ball head. But and I wish I had the Allen wrench nice and handy to take this. Wait. Basically what happens is, and you don't need it to, because the ball head has an adjustment that will let it do it, but not all of them have it. Some cheaper ones, whatever one I decide to put on, the screw that's going to end up going through it, that's a 1/4 by 20, but it has a smaller shank on it, and that lets the screw spin freely once it threads through. So this is actually what catches the ball head, and then it can spin freely on that thing, because not all ball heads have this type of adjustment, you know what I mean? So, and ones that don't, I'm probably going to get a little bit cheaper one to put on that doesn't have this adjustment, and then that way, if I do want to, I could just loosen it and turn it. I don't know, I haven't figured it all out yet, but yeah. That's the general idea. Hopefully it works.
And
if it's not too confusing.
No, just saying, I don't know if I have any material that thin.
Yeah, you can beef it up too. Here's the weight it's got to hold. That's not very much weight. You know what I mean? And we're talking, this thing's already gas shock, or some kind of tension, if not gas shocks there, so. Thanks much, I appreciate it.
No problem.
I'll see you next time I see you.
Okie dokie.
Be safe.
Always, you too, man.
See ya, bud.
Always gotta be. See you there, dude.
Thank you. All right, that was. I guess we don't name drop here, right? But we'll say Uncle Larry. Sorry about that. I just had to explain the logistics on getting a piece manufactured for an arm, a swing arm for the camera. They don't make, as far as I know, a big enough Israeli arm or magic arm or what Israel arm, whatever they call them. There's a few different names for them. So I actually have you saw it on camera, and this is going to be more stuff for the production of the show. And since we got a reusable zip tie, why not? We'll try and hurt ourselves quick on the air for everybody's enjoyment. We basically got one of these that will mount on a pole and going to be fully adjustable. That way, it can come back on itself if we need it to. And you can adjust the tension on that. It was a monitor mount. We're taking it over to a 1/4x20 mount. That way we can put a ball head on it and attach our mirrorless camera to it. Not only that, it's also going to be repurposed for the live stream of the podcast, the ASE live show. Alright, that's locked up. Let's continue with this. We don't have much time, but I think we can get something. We're going to do a clean and repair to remove that stuff. That was running ADW as admin. Clean and restart later. While doing that, we will get a backup drive that hopefully has enough room. Hey, that phone's ringing there. Oh.
Hey, you guys get this shit you needed done all figured out?
Yes, you did. They give me a beautiful print.
Yeah, that's a good blueprint.
So I said, you did a blueprint?
Did he blueprint it? Or blueprint it?
He says, hey, this is what it looks like. You take my thing. And I'm like,
Alright, we're going to restart, people.
Was it done in blue ink?
Oh, we're back. Okay. Alright. Battery died in our transmitter.
Oh, man, I hate it.
I do too, man, because it's a huge pain. Because it happens when I least expect it.
That's what always happens.
4:35.
Yeah, we're going to get this back up started. It was kind of a circus today, but oh well. It happens.
Starts up, I'll do the back.
It's going to start, for sure.
How long? It's probably going up.
Getting Windows ready, man. You got to be patient. It's a machine. Man built it. it's susceptible to flaws. Or maybe, I mean, a woman might have built it too. You got to say these things in 2019 so people don't get mad at you.
Yeah, you gotta be proper about that.
PC.
Whoever it was that built it. There it's up.
You guys, all right, we'll talk about this on the air, of course. I remember a time when if you didn't like something, you just didn't do it, or you didn't pay attention to it. You didn't have to, like, go and find out who that person was, give out their info, shame them for that, and everything they've done, everything you could ever find it. You just like, okay, somebody did something I don't agree with. You know what I mean?
Be done with it.
Yeah, or a movie's not to your taste, so you're going to shame the actors, the whole production crew, and all the bunch of whiny
Yeah.
little snowflakes in this world today.
Whiny snowflake.
But hey, it happens, man.
Easterly snowflake.
Right?
Could be worse.
Anyhow, that's not the purpose of this show. That's Sunday show. Tune in for more like that.
Yeah, for more on Sunday.
All right, our computer is coming back up. We're gonna see how long this takes. Can I get the backup started before we've got to go to the day job? Let's find out. It's coming up, but it's being super slow. Guessing part of it's heat, because we got some 100-degree air, rough gas pumping out of the side of this thing. All right, let's do it to it. See if we can get a backup. Oh boy, we don't even have Windows Explorer and nothing loaded yet. Let's let this thing load. Oh boy, yeah, that works good.
Oh yeah, they were straightened up. How about it?
You guys, I have my audio worked out fairly decent now. Because when you guys are there talking just like amongst yourselves and not being super loud, the outboard gear here, the gate, is doing what it's supposed to. It cuts most of your audio until you get loud like me. That's cool. I didn't know. Yeah. The pansies are over there talking. That's all right, man. I'll take plastic. I'll get disability when my camera falls on my toe. All right.
Actually, though, some of the plastic that I got at work would work for that. It's really stout stuff.
What is it like that?
It's like a nylon or Teflon nylon type.
Some of that stuff is ridiculously strong.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what else is strong. Stronger than I ever thought is this stuff. This comes like a bunch of little BBs. You heat that up with hot air or in a cup of hot water. And mold it together. That's what it turns into. It is. It is machinable. You can file it, cut it, chisel, all kind of stuff on it. If you drill it at a super high speed. Yeah, I had a bunch of stuff made out of that I had cameras hanging by until I got my new arm. Alright, we're going into auto backup here. Most of these tools, whenever you run them, you're going to run them as admin. So you want to right click, yeah, not that one, sorry. We're going to right click, run auto backup as admin. We are running this from our 320 gig drive. And I think we did this on the stream before. We got to get it started. Where's that paper you had? Alright, so we want the C drive. We're going from this computer here, not our external. Our external is where we're backing up to. We want to do C drive. Do I have this up? No, not where you can see it. I guess I don't. See, we're going to get the user profile. Being that we have that name, we'll just put the first name. Let's go ahead, 320. 320. Where is it? Let's make a new folder under there, and we're just going to strictly call it Deb, just like the user profile. And that's where we're going to back up to, so we'll go ahead and hit OK, back up in subfolder, hit next. And check all. We'll see what it got to see if it usually doesn't check anything useless. If the program's not installed, it's not going to check anything dealing with it, like Incredimail, Opera, Skype's built into Windows. That's why that is checked now, as long as it's seeing it. And there are newer versions of this. You can get a version just to use for your computer. Alright, that's done. Let's hit next. We want to grab our product key, even though when we reinstall Windows, it will transfer with it. That is checked there. If you don't want your product key being copied to a text file, like your Office product key, the product key that they assigned to Internet Explorer, I don't know if Edge has one or not, and your Windows product key, then you can leave that unchecked. We'll hit next. We're going to go through, look at our list. She does have Mozilla installed, Chrome. I don't see anything pertaining to Edge. This version does not support Edge as far as I know. It's an older version. So we're going to go ahead and hit launch and see how much data we're going to get. All right, let's pull that back up. We got to charge our batteries. All the batteries for our transmitter and receiver are dying. I still have one freshman. We're just going to recharge them all over the weekend.
That's a good thing too, because
Kids are bad.
hope it'll slow down. That's all I got to do. $6 for another one.
They're not bad, they're mischievous.
Yeah, I know. They don't. Do they get better as they grow up?
Now they get more mischievous.
more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're little, you can buy them all with toy
$100.
Yeah, them dollar toys don't work too good once you're older.
Nah, they want you to spend too.
I think I was like maybe 14 or 15 the last time my dad bought me something from the dollar store, and it was something silly, like a little.
Down to 5 and 10 or something.
Yeah, it was one of those little clear cubes that had like a maze built in it with a little silver ball bearing. You'd run through the maze. Yeah, he bought that. And I'm like, Dad, I'm like 14. I forget how old I was. I'm like, thanks, I appreciate it, but it would have been better spent on like a soda or a sandwich or.
Yeah.
I don't need any toys.
Yeah, especially something like that.
Yeah.
Sitting there in your rip going.
Still got kind of like Lego back.
Yeah.
Oh man, it doesn't matter what it is. I got to look at it.
I'll be sitting there checking it.
Can't go up the road here. Pizza shop and they have them setting.
All right, we're gonna let this run. I don't know if it's gonna get to the data portion before we get out of here. We'll let it run while I clean up real quick. It is time to clean up and head to the day job. That was my... Look at that, I called it before the alarm. Not really, I was looking at the computer, so... You got a SS... When's that SSD coming in, man? When's our heat shrink coming in for this battery job?
How big around is, man?
That big.
You just give me and get out.
You can't arc this off anything. If you arc this, it's gonna pop in your face, and you're gonna have a volcano that you're holding in your hand. Did you ever see one of those go off, Larry?
No.
You never seen a lipo burst? Woo!
Good fucking on.
Yeah. Oh my. I'll show you after I cut this. We'll pull it up real quick. Hey man, I'm cleaning up. I'm doing what I got to over here.
Got
If I didn't have to, I wouldn't. But Uncle Sam, he always likes taxes for some reason. I'm like, don't be stingy, but he's just like, nah, that ain't gonna float.
That ain't gonna happen. Unless you're honest, you ain't gonna get away with it.
Yeah, man, they always want that tax money for some reason.
Yeah.
Do you think someday if they figure out a way to tax air, they're going to? You gonna pay a tax to breathe? That's like the privilege to work tax too.
Yeah, that's another one.
We're gonna let you work.
We're gonna
If
work.
you don't work, we're gonna put you on welfare and we're gonna pay you away.
Kinda weird. But that don't make no sense. You gotta pay to work, but yet if you're on welfare, you gotta pay to get paid. Come on. I mean, they ain't right for
Have you guys heard anything about universal basic income?
$1,000 a month.
Oh, it's to be determined, but yeah, whew, crazy idea. I don't know how they're gonna do the.
Where do they expect the money to come from? How are you gonna pay for it? It's just gonna fall out of the sky.
That much isn't known.
Was he there?
What are
She's
they
like,
doing?
what?
All right, give me a
What
moment,
do you
people.
mean? We gotta shut down on the gas and oil.
We're gonna pull out the SM7 quick. Alright, the SM7 should not be muted. We're holding in for the last few minutes here while we turn off our transmitter and get the batteries charging. Hey man, thanks for stopping up and getting that part.
You're welcome. I will get on it as soon as I can possibly get on it. Thank you, sir. Follow up on you.
Oh, you know what they do? Whenever they call,
You need the heat shrink bigger so it'll shrink and hold it tight. You got that, right?
anyway.
Don't get crazy, Dad. Don't get crazy.
And it's shooting like fucking. It ain't nothing like fucking road flare. Or, yeah. Blue ass motherfucker.
All right, people. Thank you for joining us today. It was a circus here. Batteries are charging. Tune in Sunday for the podcast. If you're having trouble with computers, we may cover some problem that you have in here sometime. We may not. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Monday. That is like a bomb, right?
See you, Larry.